Finally, you're almost ready to own your new home. Now that your loan has been approved, underwriting has cleared, the home inspections have passed, and all your belongings are packed, the final step is to attend your closing. Closing is a meeting that involves all the parties signing the final documents and legally transferring the property to you. This video will go over some important information regarding your upcoming closing.
Where will the closing be? The closing generally takes place at the title company's office or an alternative mutually agreed upon location. Who will attend? The following people should be there or be represented: borrower and co-borrower, if applicable, the closing agent, the seller's real estate agent, and the buyer's real estate agent. In some cases, there will be a power of attorney, which is someone who will be signing on behalf of another who cannot be present. What will happen? There are a lot of documents that will require your signature at closing. Make sure you understand what you are signing and ask any questions that may arise. The lender will transfer the money to the attorney, who will transfer the funds on your behalf to the seller. The seller will then sign the deed, transferring ownership of the property to you. The title company will review the documents prepared by the lender and make sure applicable documents are properly recorded following the closing. There will be numerous affidavits, declarations, and other important documents which spell out the financial obligation you are taking on and your rights as a homeowner. Every person who purchases a home must sign these documents, no matter the country of origin, income level, or native language. It is important that you understand these documents and ask any questions you may have. Let's look at several documents in greater detail. The mortgage note. The mortgage note is a legal document that provides evidence of your indebtedness and your formal promise to repay the mortgage loan according to the terms you've agreed to. These terms include the amount you owe, the interest rate of the mortgage loan, the dates when the payments are to be made, the length of time for repayment, and the place where the payments are to be sent. The note also explains the consequences of failing to make your monthly mortgage payments. The mortgage. The mortgage, or deed of trust in some states, is a security instrument that you give to the lender that protects the lender's interest in your property. When you sign the mortgage, you are giving the lender the right to take the property by foreclosure if you fail to pay your mortgage according to the terms you've agreed to, set forth in the note. The mortgage restates most of the information contained within the note. It also establishes your responsibility to keep the house in good repair, insure it, and make your payments on time. The deed. A deed is a document that transfers ownership of the property to you. It contains the names of the previous and new owners and a legal description of the property and is signed by the person transferring the property. The deed gives you title to the property, but the title is conveyed to a neutral third party, called a trustee, until you pay the mortgage loan in full. The closing agent will be responsible for recording this document so that it can be filed as part of your county's public records. You will receive a copy at closing and another copy after it has been recorded. Affidavits and declarations. Affidavits and declarations are statements declaring something to be true, like the fact that the property will be your principal place of residence or that all the repairs needed on the property were completed prior to closing. In most cases, you'll have to sign one or more affidavits at closing. The final step. The final step in the home buying process is completed once all the documents are signed and the required monies have exchanged hands. You will be required to transfer your funds for closing in the form of a cashier's or bank check or a wire transfer. Wiring instructions can be provided by your attorney. Here are some additional tips to help ensure a smooth closing process. Avoid feeling rushed by requesting to review the documents that will need to be signed prior to your closing. Most people will ask a lot of questions regarding the legal terminology in closing documents. Don't be afraid to ask. We're here for you. Ask as many questions as you need to ensure that you clearly understand the process and the paperwork that entails. The documents in the mortgage process are the same for everybody, regardless of ethnic origin, language, gender, or income. Federal law requires that you sign English language versions of all forms as your final legally binding contract. The funds needed for closing will be required to be in the form of a cashier's or bank check or a wire transfer. It's a good idea to bring your personal checkbook as well, as minimal adjustments are sometimes found at the closing table. Also remember that every person on the loan will need to bring a valid photo ID with them.
Thank you for choosing Title Mortgage Solution. Please do not hesitate to contact myself or anyone in my office if you have any questions. The number is 603-643-1400. Thank you.